And welcome back. The progressive donor network Democracy Alliance is planning to invest tens of millions of dollars into new media and content creators. It's a shift away from traditional mediums like broadcast television, hello, and paid advertisements. Democracy Alliance President Pamela Shifman joins me now. Pamela, great to see you. Thanks for being here. So I say this as someone coming from very traditional media. Tell me a little bit about this strategy of going right to content creators, right to this new media environment. What does that get you?
Thank you so much, Caitlin. It's so good to be with you. What I will say is that the media landscape has shifted dramatically. It has changed dramatically over time, and that's particularly true for young people. What we know is 3 out of 4 millennials or Gen Zers get their news from social media. That's where they're getting their news. So we need to meet people where they are and not where they used to be, right? That is really important, I think, for us. For us to have a healthy media landscape and to reach people.
I mean, it's interesting because this is not a new concept. In fact, Republicans did this very well in the last election. You know this. They were able to really tap into podcasts, new media, influencers. We saw that time and again. How did Democrats kind of fall behind there? What happened?
That's right. I think the right wing has spent decades investing in media, and we need to do the same. It's really important, and that has started. I think we're seeing it happening now. I think there's really incredible work out there in terms of increased local journalism, increased podcasts, really making sure that we're on all the time, not just some of the time, because it used to be you would get your news from 8 to 9 p.m. at night, and that's just not true anymore. So we're starting to see that happening, and we need it to happen more and more because this is not just like a this year. This is not a this year endeavor. This is 2028 and 2032 and well beyond. It's really about a thriving democracy.
And how are you kind of finding these areas of investment? Are you looking at, particular content creators or influencers? And of course, I'm going to have to plug, you should still get your news from reputable sources. But how are you going about making these investments?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you made that point about reputable sources because I think really the thing that we're up against is that there's a lot of mis and disinformation out there, and that's what we need to combat because that is what so many people are getting every day, and that cannot exist if we want to have a true democracy where we're getting the same information and the same facts. It's wildly, wildly important. So, I think for us at the Democracy Alliance, we know there's a very healthy ecosystem of organizations and networks who are really putting out pro-democracy, fact-based information, and we're thrilled to be able to support them. And many of the members of the Democracy Alliance independently are also supporting them.
And just quickly, because you've been talking to your members, I know you just had a retreat with them. What's the top issue that they are telling you they're concerned about heading into this midterm?
Winning. We're
Mm.
convinced we're going to win, but we need to win big because the reality is also we are seeing signs that election security is going to be a real issue, right? This is not a normal election. We need to make sure that we are taking every steps to make sure that we have free and fair elections. Everyone gets to vote. We just saw a devastating Supreme Court decision, the Calais decision, which decimates voting rights in the South. And so it's really, really important that we are taking every step to both protect elections so that they're free and fair and ensuring that we have wild turnout and that we win by huge, huge proportions. And we think we will.
All right, we'll be covering all of this in the next several months. Pamela Shifman, thank you very much for your time.